All right, well there's the old inline 6. And the radiator doesn't look horrible. Hoses, belts. I mean, it's not horrible. Not sure what this was all about here. Come on, dude. But when I got into this thing, when we rolled her off the trailer, I got pictures somewhere of the spark plugs. I may try to see if I can dig those up, but the spark plugs literally looked like they were the original plugs. They were really bad, but they're really carboned up. So I think this motor is using a lot of oil and pretty well toast. 235,000 miles has done its damage. I think that's what it was, 235. So it's a good candidate for maybe a V8 swap. We'll see. So currently I have both drive shafts off. That's the rear. This is the front yoke. I'm draining the transfer case and I've got a wire up there. And then I believe, so I've got a jack stand supporting the back of the bell housing there. So something doesn't fall on me. But I believe that these 4 bolts, let's see if I can do that here, 2 on the other side, are what holds the transmission to the bell housing. So I'm going to drain the tranny tomorrow, and I've broken 3 of these loose. I haven't got the 4th one yet on the other side, but I'll get those loose and see if I can start to shove the transmission back on the shaft into the clutch there. So what this pipe is right here, I have no idea. It's just like welded onto the thing. Who knows? But you can see, if I'm going to slide back a little bit here and see if I can give you a view up here. So we're looking at the underside of this thing. What a greasy mess everywhere. This thing was leaking like a sieve. Everything leaked. So every bit of the undercarriage of this thing is rust-proofed with a coat of oil and grease. So there's a puddle of oil in the transfer case plate over there, the cross member. So I got that off. It's dripping out. So there we are. Hopefully these pictures will help me remember how to put this thing back together as well. So that's helpful. Okay, so I moved the light over here. So this is now transmission. So looks to me like 4 bolts, hopefully just for taking us into the bell housing. I've got the reverse connector over on the other side to get off, and then that's all the electrical connections, and then transmission could come out and be rebuilt and or replaced, whichever. I think I got a T18 in the other one. I haven't identified this one yet, but I will. Once I get it out, I'll figure out what it is. It's just a 4-speed, so we'll get to the bottom of that and figure out if that stays or goes, depending on what we do with the engine. So there's the tranny. Again, more of the dirty mess under here. All right, well, there we have it. Transmission is out. I gotta show you really how nasty this thing looks. Look down in there. Woo! Filthy. Transfer case. Okay, well, what I thought I'd do is for my own use, and just in case anyone else is watching this going, how did that all come apart? I'm gonna take a few pictures as we go here so I can remember how to put this back together. So where I'm at so far is here I have taken off those fenders that I put on there and pulled out the light. And there's the turn light. There's 3 bolts that hold the fender on. Let's see if I can shine a light and point. Okay, so one here, one here, one here, up in the front. And then down in here on the firewall, there's 3 bolts there. So then the stuff that's hooked to the fender is that canister is part of the pollution control system. This big bracket here looks to me like it was maybe where a jack used to go. Let's see if we can do this without sticking light right in front of it. Better pay attention to the camera. So anyway, I think that was where the jack probably rode at one point in time. And starter solenoid. That is all that is on the passenger side fender. So I'm going to pull that stuff off. There's that one cross member down there in the very bottom. You can kind of see it hooked to the fender and hooked to the firewall to give it a little more rigidity there. And another one there, or maybe that's a hose. Nope, that's another bracket or brace. So what I'm talking about is right down here. So take those off and I'll get this fender. All right, well, there is one fender off. So again, what you wind up with is 3 holes, 3 bolts on the grill, 3 bolts on the firewall, here, here, and here. And then a brace connects there, and a brace connects there. Okay, well, here we are. We have the driver's side fender off now. So I just wanted to show you a couple of things. Let's see if we can get the light where it will stay. Here. Come on. Okay. So this is one major source of all the oil, and when I follow this thing up, it comes up here, it's got this kind of thing on it, and it's then teed into the breather up here. So that must have had, there must be a lot of bypass brush pressure going in there. What is supposed to be from here to here is a little piece of this kind of heat tubing to, you know, draw some warm air off the exhaust manifold to help heat the engine up earlier in the winter. So that's shot and gone. What else did I see? Just a myriad of like messy things. So anyway, radiator and grill and stuff is probably next up on the agenda once I find some place to drain the radiator fluid out. But you can see, let's see if we can get the light in there. You can see what that block looks like from down here. Let's see if we can get a better shot. Little bit of oil leaking everywhere. Pretty oily mess. So fenders are off. You can just have to start trying to figure out how to keep track of all these vacuum hoses, where they all go. And I would expect probably this canister down here is probably shot. I would expect you have to change those out once in the lifetime of a vehicle, maybe. So anyway, there she is, an oily, worn out motor.